Hello everyone, welcome back to the Terror Channel. Here I have a little science experiment going on that I just wanted to tell some people about. Now, I'm not the first one to ever do this, and many people have done it before me, but I thought it was really interesting how this worked. And so I figured I'd sort of relay the information down to you. So, let's go. So essentially, I've written this journal, and it is all the days, and each and every day, I record the plant life, and then I record the isopods, and I make a general summary, and if they are okay, and if the general summary is good, then I just stop there. And so far, the general summary, sometimes it's been problematic, but most of the time, it ends up being okay. So, I've never really been worried about it. Currently, the only thing that's somewhat worrying me is the moss is definitely browning at some ends, and though this happens in nature, you know, they don't really have anywhere else to go in this jar except for onto the soil, which I really don't want them to do because that's sort of someone else's territory. But let's get into that, and let's put this book away, and let's get into this. So, let's start from the bottom layer. So down here, maybe you might not be able to see it, but there are a collection of water that is trapped by rocks, and this is called a water filter, and essentially keeps the water from rising all into the soil, drowning the other organisms that aren't isopods, like worms and just general decomposers. And so this keeps it floods from happening, but it does release some water, and you can see that as condensation on the side, which is what the animals use to not really drink, but they absorb the water, and the plants definitely. The next layer is the soil. The soil, I really don't know if there's any worms in it. I really wasn't checking when I was putting the soil into the jar, and that was, 6 days ago? So I really have no idea what's in the soil. But, I don't know if you can see it on video, but you do see these lines here, and I feel like that could be signs of worms, because I feel like they're in different spots each day, but I really don't know. There's one here as well. I really don't know what they are. So if anyone knows what those are, could you please tell me? And now let's move on to the next layer, which is where all the interesting stuff happens. So in here, I have placed moss, as I told about earlier, and the moss seems to be doing well, and I'm pretty sure underneath the moss is the main home of the isopods. It's very damp down there, I presume, and very moist, and so it probably houses most of the nutrients they need and a good shelter. And I put in they eat decaying plant matter, so I put in some dead leaves. The soil has some decaying plant matter. It's bioactive, meaning there's living organisms in it. I just took it out of the nature. The other plant I put in here, you can kind of see, is just some grass. I feel like I thought the moss was going to overpower the grass in this ecosystem, because I put a lot more moss in, but honestly, the grass seems to be doing better in here than it was outside. And probably because it's turning colder outside, and in here it's very moist and hot, like a forest, because the water is trapped in here. So you might be thinking, how does this whole thing work? They're gonna run out of water, they're gonna run out of oxygen. How do they live for 6 days? And just how does that happen? And I will tell you. So basically, the water, it's a closed system. This jar I have opened only once or twice, just to see them better, and nothing really to help them. But basically the water is trapped in this system. If I don't open this jar, the water will stay here for the rest of the world and the rest of time. It cannot escape. So can anything else. The heat can't really escape, and the bugs can't escape, just a lot of things. And because it's a closed system, it's basically just like our atmosphere, where the water can't escape. And so that's pretty cool. We have, also we have the oxygen system. You might be thinking, how do they get oxygen? Well, the plants produce oxygen. And you might be thinking, how do the plants get carbon dioxide? And the bugs produce carbon dioxide. So it's literally just a small scale of the real world. And I'm going to open the jar just for a minute so we can look inside. So, let's take a peek inside. At first, oh, there's one right there. See him? He's eating some decaying plant matter. They can just sort of be found anywhere you look, really. There's another one right here, another one down there. Put red circles, or I'll try to put red circles around them if I can see them later on in the recording. Now, when I put my hand in here, I find it very hot and moist, which is good because these guys like moist terrain. And these all seem to be babies. And, I don't see any adults. Go around the sides of the glass. I don't see any adults. There are adults in here, and maybe they died and these are their offspring. That would be pretty cool. Oh wait, is there one right down there? No. There's one right here, though. Should be eating. I think he's grooming himself, actually. Yeah. So, I don't see any adults. This could be Generation 2. Where essentially, you might be asking, when the isopods die, how does that work? Because they die, well, it happens just like in nature, where they produce offspring, and those offspring produce offspring, and that just goes on forever and ever. There's another one right here. Alright. There's no way. I don't know how fast they produce offspring. I'm gonna close this. As you can see, the moss, you can see the grass. Grass is doing very well outside. It was literally about to die, and I honestly put it in as decaying plant matter, and it ended up living, so it's pretty awesome. Oh. So, that's just my closed little ecosystem, and this is its diary. The Isopoda. You could totally do this by yourself, by the way. Don't go to me to do it. Don't look at this video. Go look at a different video if you really want to set one up. But if you want to know how it works, this one really explains it pretty well. I'm looking for them in there. I don't see any. Any adults. I didn't think that they would be able to produce offspring this fast. Only on day 6. And my goal was day 7, but they're definitely going to make it to that. So, anyway, that's been this video. I hope you enjoyed. And, yeah, bye.